So you are a remote closer and you would like to make 10K per month. In this video, I'm going to explain to you in the simplest, clearest, non-BS terms how you can make 10K per month happen within reason as quickly as possible. And this is not like there's a fast track to the top and you just snap your fingers and you make it happen. But if you follow what I tell you in this video, it's going to happen for you. The way it happened for me, I'm going to give you exactly what I did to go from making 2K as a remote closer, 3K per month, getting scammed and not getting paid the comms that I was owed, to literally having months where I was doing 10, 15K consistently. What I'm going to do here is focus really on three things. Number one is the mindset, how you need to think as a remote closer, because there is a specific mindset that goes along with making 10K per month. It's not just, you can't have a cookie cutter approach to this where, oh, I just want to be a closer, I just want to make money and the money will fall from the sky. It doesn't work that way. So I'm going to give you the exact mental architecture, the mental structures to have to do this. And then I'm going to talk to you about some numbers that you can hit to make this happen. And then we're going to look at some action steps at the end. And I suggest watching this to the end because this may be one of the most valuable videos you're ever going to watch, if not the most valuable video you'll ever see on how to actually make money as a closer, how to cut it in the sales space and make a bunch of money. So first thing I want you to understand, and get this through your head, understand this. Closing is not easy. It's not that closing itself, like by itself, hopping on a call and talking to someone is difficult, because that is difficult too. But it's not that closing in itself is difficult. Like the sales call itself is the problem. The problem is that everyone wants to make a bunch of money in the sales space, and there's very little relative to the number of people. There's few opportunities going around, right? So you have everyone who wants all this opportunity. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants this dream that they've been sold, but there's not enough opportunity, quality opportunity to meet that demand. There can be, depending on who you are, it can be very easy to find opportunities. But for many people in the sales space, they will continuously struggle to find opportunities. And the reason is because there's so many people being sold a dream and so many people are mediocre. Like let's say from a 0 to 10 skill set. 0 to 5, you're not even in. There's no chance. Like that doesn't even count. We're not going to count 0 to 5. And then let's say you have a 6 out of 10 skill set. That's bottom of the barrel. It's like you can close here and there. And I know a lot of people like this. I know people like this because they talk to me. They're in my DMs like, how do I go and find an offer and make 10K? They ask me these questions. I get them on the daily now. And what happens is like there's a lot of mediocre people who are at a 6 out of 10 skill set, even 7 out of 10 skill set, who want to make 10 out of 10 money. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't happen. So what you need to do is separate dreams from fiction. And you have to realize the difficulty of actually making 10K. Even forget just as a closer, just as a fucking employee, like a business owner, a person in this world, making 10K puts you in a very specific category. Even though once you hit 10K, you're like, I should make more. It doesn't feel that special. It really is the case where you have to think differently if you're going to hit 10K. And think differently meaning thinking in terms of how you position yourself, in terms of your skill set, which I'll share with you in a second. I want you to separate dreams from fiction. So I don't want you thinking of closing as this pipe dream, like I was just handed this golden ticket, because it can be a golden ticket, but it's only a golden ticket that's earned. It's not given. So when you see all the marketing from all these influencers, Luke Alexander, the NEPQ guys, I guess. I don't know who else pitches this dream. There's like, because I don't follow them, but there's a lot of people out there that I've just seen over the last couple of years pitching this dream of closing and how it's the ticket to success, the ticket to freedom. Iman talking about like remote closing. It's not this fucking fad. Like it's not this thing where you just come in and you have this guaranteed ticket to success. It doesn't work that way. It's not like crypto. You have to actually, and even crypto is bullshit. You have to work to be a closer. You have to work hard to make money in the sales space. You have to work hard. You have to fight to make money in the sales space. And you must see the closing skill set as if you were a high performing athlete. That's what I do. That's how I treat my sales skill set. That's how I treat my time in the closing space. Even now that I teach others how to close and I teach people how to have success closing, and I help my guys go from 3, 4, 5K a month to hitting 10, 20K months as closers. That's what I do. The same thing applies to the whole space top down. Like you have to respect the game. You have to play the game to win. You have to see this as if you're an athlete. That is, if you want to have success, if you want to win, if you want to make money, because everyone wants to make money. Most people are going to be stuck at 2, 3K. That's a fact. Most people are stuck either as setters making very little. Even setters who make a lot is rare. So if I see a guy who's an SDR, like a sales development rep, and he's killing it making a lot, I'm super proud of him. I'm like, dude, stick in that role, crush it, and keep making more money. Because the thing is, everyone wants the golden ticket, Everyone wants the success, but not everyone wants to do the work. And the work is tough, bro. Like, the work is tough. You know why? Because I want the same money that you want. Everyone wants the same money. So if you have everyone going for the big goal, right, and there's limited cash availability, there's a lot of cash, but it is limited, right? Not everyone's going to make it on an offer. Let's say there's two closers that are both going to be making 20K, or one makes 20, one makes 10, and they're only going to have those two closers, and you have 10 people who want to get on that team. Hey, well, two people are going to get it, and they're going to make the cash. No one else is, right? Until they scale and they bring on someone else. And there's 3 people, and there's a bunch of other people that are left out. So, like, not everyone wants to actually do the work. They say they do. They say they want it. But everyone wants the same thing, and everyone has the same level of desire. What actually separates the people who don't get the success versus the people who do? It's those who do the work. It's those who show up consistently and do the work. And that's why my guys that I train, the guys in my group, like, they show up and they fucking do the work. And I tip my cap to them every single day I see them training and putting themselves, you know, in the line of fire under pressure when it comes to sales, putting their ego on the line, training the skill set. Here's some numbers that you can look at. I'll explain to you what this looks like in terms of making 10K per month. Here's what it looks like. Let's pretend that per close, you're going to make a $500 commission. You could make way more than that per close, by the way. So, but let's say, let's average it out. You're on an offer that's $5,000 to sell. You get paid $500, 10% classic when you close. By the way I made my money, I was closing offers that were 7.5K to 20K. We had a downsell on my offer that was like 4 or 5K, and I would get $500 if someone paid in full, piffed the offer. But generally, I was closing offers that were $7,500 to $2,000 to $20,000. Excuse me. So my commissions were close to $1,000 for each call that I closed, right? Depending on the deal size, or even more. I've had comms days that were, or a close that gave me 3K, right? Because of they paid in full, bonuses, all that stuff. So let's say on average, you're doing $500 per close. Okay, let's pretend $500 per close. What you need to hit 10K would be 20 closes. 20 closes at $500 to hit 10K per month, which means, let's say you're going to maintain a 33% close rate, which is very, very good. You probably won't even maintain that, by the way, if you're not very good and if you're not pushing hard and you're not honoring your skill set and putting in the work and being as good as you possibly can be. But let's say you're closing at 30-ish%. That means you would need 60 calls taken in the month. And let's say that the company has a 60% show up rate, which is not great. It should be higher, like 75%, give or take. That's great. 60% is not terrible, though. It's industry standard. Then you'll see 100 calls booked in the month. That's what you should have booked on your calendar, which means in a month, you should have around 25 calls each week booked on the calendar. Let's say you're working 5 days a week. That means every day you should have about 5 calls booked in the calendar. That's where you need to be. That could happen from one offer only, or it could happen from 2 offers. A lot of people end up stacking 2 offers. I know what I did when I was in the sales space. I had one offer that I was doing, a dating offer that I was closing on, that was netting me about, give or take, maybe 3 to 5 calls a day. So I was ranging from 15 to 20 calls per week, give or take. Sometimes it dipped lower. And then I would do consulting, and I did odd job calls for friends' offers, because I had friends that are running 6-7 figure businesses, and I would close their deals, and that would also stack my comps, right? And I did some sales consulting as well, like advising some business owners on sales. And then I started training some setters on our team, made more money. So that's kind of the numbers. So you see, it comes down to volume. You're going to need volume. Like, it's not just, oh, I'm good and I got lucky on some opportunity. You need to go after it and fucking work. You need to have 25 calls booked in the calendar per week. This is not a thing where you just lie back and wait for the universe to bless you and give you deals. You actually need to fucking go for it. That's how you're going to get paid in the sales space. Now, here's the meat of this. There's a couple of, I'd say, 5 points that you have to understand. And if you can dial these down, you are going to make money. You are going to make a lot of money. I've dialed down each of these things at a very high level, and I give them to my guys that I train. And that's how they make money. That's how you're going to make money. I'm going to explain the first thing you need to make money in this space is you have to be able to handle objections. Because what's going to happen is, if you look at the math, let's go back to these calls we have per week. Let's say there's 25 calls in the calendar, and you're going to have, let's say, 15 people show up per week. Okay, 15 people. Out of those 15 people, you need to close at least 5. Like we said, given the math, you need to close 5 of those people every week. Okay, out of those 5 people that you close, here's where things get interesting. Out of those 5 people you close, 2 of them might be easy. Like, it's like, okay, I'll just buy. Maybe I have one or two questions, but I'm going to buy. It's simple as that. But then out of those two people, the other three out of those five that you should close, you should be closing these people. Those other three are going to give you some kind of objection before they buy. Like, I'll think about it. Oh, this is really expensive. I didn't know this was going to be this expensive. I need to go talk to my wife. Can you send this to me in an email? Can I take a few days? I'm going on a vacation. When I come back, I think I would start. The problem with objections is that when people give you objections, they're oftentimes not real. They're usually a mask. And I'm going to drop a training. Training's already been made. It's already been built. I'm going to drop a training on how you can handle objections at an elite level. I'm going to give you the whole framework here on YouTube. But by the way, I've already dropped this inside of my school group. It's down below. I'll tell you about that in a second. And it's free. But when people give objections, the problem is that they're masks. So the person really could buy now. They could buy. You get paid. The company gets paid. The person makes a change. Amazing. Win-wins all around. The triple win, right? But when someone gives objections and they have to I'll think about it and you don't know how to solve them and you let that person walk away and they don't end up making a buying decision and they don't end up coming into the program, investing in the transformation, investing in the offer, what's happening is you are literally walking away from money. You're literally taking money, like you taking cash, and you are throwing it in the trash can. That's what you're doing. And what you're saying is, you're saying this, not verbally, but you're saying this with everything in your being, and your actions are all contributing to this. Your problem is not enough for me to go through discomfort to handle this problem and get you to make a buying decision that's going to help change your life or put you in a better position. That's what you're saying when you don't handle objections. I'll think about it. This is expensive. Let me talk to my wife. Objections will separate you in skill set from the rest of the market. The closer that can handle objections, the closer that is able to lead a prospect through objections and close in the face of objections is a closer that is going to get paid. Because again, if you need to close those 5 people every week, 2 of them are easy, and then 3 of them are going to give you objections and you don't handle those 3. And you let them walk away with, okay, well, I'll reach back out to you or I'll talk to you again soon. We'll see where things go. Take my number, which was what I used to do before I learned how to handle objections. And I was fucking poor, bro. I was so poor. I was broke. It was disgusting. And the reason I was broke was because I did not have the skill set. So being broke is not disgusting if you're building a skill set and if you're working. Everyone has to start somewhere. But for me, it pissed me off because I was like, why is this happening? I have volume. I was getting 5-6 calls a day, actually. The company there was volume. But I wasn't closing. Why was I not closing? I literally wasn't closing because I didn't know how to handle objections. That was it. That was the only thing. So objections will separate you in skill set from the rest of the market. And if you can't handle objections, you're going to stay broke. You're going to get kicked off offers. You're going to perform poorly. You're going to wonder why closing isn't working out for you. You're going to be frustrated following up with people, chasing people around. I know it's frustrating. I know you're dealing with that now because I was dealing with it myself. You have a cap on your income. You're a mediocre closer, 4,000 to 5,000. But when you learn how to handle objections, when you learn how to lead, when you learn how to solve problems, when you learn how to handle objections, that's where you produce money and you earn, you feed yourself, you feed your family. You give yourself everything you want in life and more. Quantum Level, down below, my school group, has the best resources, the best free resources on planet Earth for objection handling. You are not going to find resources this good that are free anywhere in the sales space whatsoever in terms of objection handling, leadership, sales frameworks. And the reason I can confidently say that, by the way, and I'm not exaggerating, I'm not a person who exaggerates. I'm very honest when I say things, and I try to keep it as clean as possible. So if someone were to come back and hate on me, I'd be like, no, what I said checks out. That's who I am. That's what I do. That's what I live by. I learned it from my father, honesty and transparency. The reason I say we have the best materials on objection handling in the school community is because no one else gives this much for free. I give way too much for free. I should be charging for it. And eventually I will. I have an advanced program that's paid, of course, but for free, you can get everything from me. There's other communities out there that teach objection handling. They teach very well. Communities I've been in that I've learned a lot from, but they don't give the exact processes and steps and what to do, what to say, how to communicate to the level of depth that I do inside of our school group. And multiple people are making money from this community. Closers, people that are making money, closers that are currently in the weeds on calls that are hitting those 3 to 5K months that want to double or triple the income. They're inside of our community for free. They haven't paid me anything. They're just getting the value and taking it, and they're starting to make more money closing deals at a higher level. Okay, so go into the community and check it out. It'll teach you exactly what to do. Now, follow up is next after objection handling. become a follow-up monster. You need to have your own pipeline as a closer, because what's going to happen is, let's go back to this. You'll have 5 out of 15 that can close on the call. 5 out of 15 people that can close on that live call. One call close, 35%. That should be able to happen. If you're good, you should be able to do that. Now, what's going to happen is, outside of those 5 people, there's going to be another 3 to 5 out of those 15 that will close at a certain point, right? So let's say you close your 5, maybe you close 4 even, or 3, whatever. Maybe you're struggling, you're trying to get better, you're hovering between 25 to 30%. You close 3 people, 3 to 5 people. There's another group of people, another 5 people that will actually buy at a certain point. The people you had calls with, they're just not going to buy now. They're not going to buy right now. It's going to take them a bit of time to buy. For whatever reason, you couldn't get them over the line. Maybe they didn't have the finances at the time. Maybe they didn't trust the company and they just found out and they wanted to just actually do more research, and you couldn't handle the objections. You couldn't close them, whatever. They just would not purchase. They said, no, I'm not doing this. That's why we have follow-up. Follow-up is the next part, because a lot of closers think, got a 1 call close, 1 or 2 call close, and that's it. Leads gone. That's it. But there's a huge subset of guys, of potential prospects, or prospects leads, that will actually come back and buy, but they'll just buy later. They won't buy now, right? So you'll have another 30 to 50% of your leads, seriously, that are going to come back and purchase at a later date. They're not going to purchase right now on the call. What happens to those people? That's cash. That's cash in the pipeline. So your ability to follow up, what's happening is, when you follow up with prospects and you do it the right way, you're literally printing money. It's like you have an ATM in your pocket. And what's in your pocket? This device here, your phone, right? On my phone right now, I have a list of probably 50 guys from the offers that I was on, 50 people that I can reach out to, that I can hit up on and bring them back on a call. Not all of them are going to close, but there's at least 5 people in there that would close right now. At least out of the 50, at least. It's not a question, right? I don't invest my time in pursuing them and chasing them around, because now my time is spent training my guys and giving them these principles, giving them these protocols, these secrets, and these principles, and helping them make more money. But your money as a closer also comes from follow-up. It's these 2 avenues. I have a buddy, my buddy Boldy here in Budapest, shout out you, bro, who literally had a 20K day in commissions. 20K day in commissions, which means he closed like 200 to 300K revenue purely off of follow-ups in a day. He just had a day where he had built this whole list of people personally that he'd been following up, that he had been in contact with from calls that didn't close first call or second call. And he reached out to them, got him back on a call that day. It all lined up that day. He was like fucking him, going hard with follow-ups, closed him, brought him in and ran with that. That's the game that we're playing here. Follow-up is huge. Follow-up is massive as a closer. Don't be deluded to think that just your 1 call closing ability is the thing that's going to save you. It's also following up. Have your pipeline and dial it in and reach out to people. Get them back on the calendar. Get them back. Hey, let's have a quick call. Let's check in. We've changed some things on our process, and I really think that we can get you to those 10K months very, very fast. Would love to check in and just have a 10-minute chat. That's how I follow up with people. I send GIFs, I send memes, and I follow up with them and get them back on the calendar. Your money will come from here. That's going to put you beyond 10K if you do it right. When you get on offers, here's point number 3. This is where the consistency is going to come from. So you don't have some one-off like, I did 10K this month, great, and then next month you're fucked. We don't want that to happen. You need to show that you're the best. Here's the metrics of being the best. 30% closing percentage. Stay at a 30% percentage. That's the standard that I have for my people that I work with. That's the standard I have within the organizations that I consult for. That's the standard I have for myself when I'm closing, when I'm doing sales. That's the standard I have within my own company, within my business. 30% closing percentage, and that's minimum standard, by the way. Like, that's bare minimum. If you're below that, something's off. We need to figure out what's going on and how we get you above it, or you're not a good fit. That's it. So 30% closing percentage, collecting cash, paid in fulls. I'll give you a cool little hack. When I have people that have been on the fence, sometimes I'll close them and I'll say, come in on a half, come inside, and then just add on the rest once you really have gotten some value, or otherwise just stick with the payment plan. It literally doesn't even make sense, because if you found there was no value, why would you stick with the payment plan? But some people just need to feel that and hear that before coming in and paying off the rest of a program. It's very interesting. And then bring value to the team. When you come in, bring value to the team. Whenever I get on a new offer, my first goal is like, how do I contribute as much to this team as quickly as I can? Yeah, in the fastest amount of time possible. How do I contribute to this team? Giving them ideas, giving them value, where they feel like I'm an irreplaceable piece of who they are and what they do. It's extremely important. And number 4 is obsess over the game. You have to be obsessed with the game, man. Be fucking obsessed. I've been in this game in the high ticket space for freaking 5-6+ years now. I'm so obsessed with the game. I went through the high ticket closing thing, made a bunch of money, like made 6 figures in under a year, and then came back and started training it, like teaching people this, and I'm still obsessed. You know what I do now? I watch videos of people selling watches, of people selling cars. I look at those strategies now and see how they apply to selling like 10K, 15K coaching packages. That's easy shit. When you can sell 10, 15K coaching packages, like, and you can sell watches, you can sell a fucking 200K Patek Philippe, like, dude, I'm sorry. Selling 10, 15K coaching packages becomes child's play. When you can sell, you know, a 25K a month B2C consulting retainer, or B2B, consulting retainer, selling a 5-10K coaching package. I'm not even going to say it's easier, but your mind just changes. It's like, dude, fuck. Okay, let's just buy this shit. Like, it's a different game. It's a fucking different game. So you have to obsess over the game. You have to see closing as the game. Train in uncomfortable situations. Practice leadership. Invest in yourself. Those are the three horsemen, or is it usually 4? I think it's 4, but we'll call the 3 horsemen of the game. Training, leadership, and investing in yourself. That's the thing. So, and all those overlap, right? Like, we do this when I train my guys, the people who invest in me, the people I'm working with, that I'm helping make money, that are doing very, very well. They're training in very uncomfortable situations. I put them in very uncomfortable spots where they have to get out of it. They have to lead. They have to practice handling objections. They're practicing leadership at the highest levels, practicing becoming that sales professional who can lead prospects, who sticks to their guns, who never gets thrown off. That's what they're doing. They're investing in themselves. They're investing thousands in their training. And I say this as someone who invests in himself. I just hired a business mentor recently that was $4,000 per month. $4,000 a month to mentor me in business consistently, right? Before that, hired a coach that I invested, how much is this, $5,500 in for a couple weeks of training. I regularly spend $400 to $500 just on a 1-hour call with someone in the sales space that I can learn from. I reach out, book on the calendar, hop on a call. That's the game. Like, that's the game. It's investing in yourself. It's practicing leadership. And if you're someone who hasn't invested in himself before at a high level, you have a lot of work to do and a lot of places to go, my friend. Like, you have a long ways to go, because every single person who has had success has spent thousands of dollars in achieving that success. You spend money to make money. That's the game. That's how it works. And lastly is positioning. Like I said earlier, you need more calls and more volume. That's where the money's going to come from. More calls, more volume, combined with your skill set. You'll be making 10, 15K in no time. That's not a question. You have to get hungry. You got to be hungry to get on more calls, gain opportunities. Don't become complacent. Like, dude, one of the things that kills closers in this space is just complacency. Like, feeling, I'm good where I'm at now. I don't need much more. I'm okay. It's like I want more, but I'm not going to relentlessly work my ass off to get more. I can't tell you how often when I was a closer, when I was in training programs that I was in, when I was in the weeds as a remote closer only without running a business, like over a year ago, when I was in that space, how many guys that I would see in training programs who just didn't want it bad enough. And I'm talking about, they would show up maybe to some calls here and there. They do a cute little role play, but they weren't obsessing over the game. They weren't. You'd see them come on 1 or 2 sessions, and that was it. They weren't obsessing. You have to obsess over this game. You have to obsess over the game and get hungry for more calls, more opportunities, where you're following up in your spare time, dude. Like, the time you're not spending on calls, you literally should be following up with people to get them back on the phone. That's what you should be doing every single day. Document your skill set on social media and show it to the market. An unknown closer is a dead closer, a closer that no one knows in the space, no matter how good your skill set is a dead closer. You want to be known. You want people to know you. You want people to know your skill set. The guys I train, if you look at their X, like their Twitter accounts, you'll see their closing calls. You'll see their skill set on public display. I share my calls. When someone says, hey, or I want to work with someone, I just had this happen. I got an opportunity to work with a very established ads agency and handle their B2B sales process, close for them. And when I was, in the pipeline for that offer to get it and to stand out and have the opportunity over everyone else, I just linked my fucking YouTube channel. I'm like, my calls are on YouTube. Watch my calls. They're literally live on YouTube. I have it pinned. They're live on YouTube. Watch that. Or go to my X. Go to my Twitter. They're live on my Twitter. Look at my calls, right? An unknown closer is a dead closer. So if you want to have an advantage in the market, in a very crowded market, because the closing space is crowded, everyone wants to make money. It's crowded. What you must do is show your skill set in the market so that when you apply for opportunities, people are like, oh, this guy's good. This guy's established. This guy is someone we'd want on the team. He's a fucking winner. That's it. And they can see it clearly. That's it. That's my spiel. That's my rant. That is the training for today. Hopefully it made sense. What I would say, I'll leave you with this. If you want to learn and get better and actually add to the skill set that you have right now, move away from complacency, move away from scarcity financially. Stop being in a hole where you don't have freedom. The first step is come in and see what I do. We got the best trainings in the industry, and that's my goal, to make the best trainings. I have nothing to sell you here. I say that openly, publicly. I'm not going to sell you anything. Come in for free. I give it all away. That's my lead magnet. Just come into my school community, see what we've got, look at the trainings, look at how much value there is in them, and we'd love to give you value, and I'd love to train you, me and my team. We do it for free. I give you my time. I'm shooting this on a Tuesday. In 2 days, we're going to be training in the school community. It's free to join that. Every Thursday we train. So come on in. I'll see you there. Stay blessed. Keep making money. This is the guide. This is how you're going to do it. Use this. Watch it again. Rewatch it. Keep this in your head. This is how you're going to make money. The no bullshit, no strings attached, no come in my special program. None of that. Just use this. And if you want value, if you want to learn, come in for free. See what we do. And you'll get some more value there. Okay, take care, be blessed, and I will see you on the next training. We're going to really ratchet things up and build things this year on this YouTube channel. So I'll see you on the next one.